Got
In
drunk off
today's
your
rebuild, we
love.
are taking over AS Roma or Roma FC. 3 games in, they have 0 wins, 1 draw, and then 2 losses as well, only scoring 4 goals, conceding 6. They have just added Lukaku to the team pretty recently at the end of the transfer window. However, he is just on loan. We are going to go ahead and transform this team and make them Champions League winners. So go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, and I have a feeling this might be a decently long one. And this is the last rebuild of FIFA 23, at least on this channel. Now, before we actually get into the rebuild, I have something to announce. I already announced it through the community post. However, I never talked about it in a video yet. I have a Patreon up and going now on. This is going to go out there for the rest of my, well, hopefully the rest of my YouTube career, if I actually have a YouTube career. I'm going to start trying to use this as long as people actually sign up. This is not mandatory to sign up, but if you do want to help me out further, go ahead and click the link in the description. This is the first link in the description. I'm going to make sure it's there. But I have 4 different tiers. This is going to benefit you a lot. We have the retirement plan, which is only $2 a month. It's $2 a month. That's, I'm just gonna say, my currency. You get to become a 30-plus-year-old, so 30 to like 33-year-old player in all my career mode saves for EAFC 24, except the Arsenal one, except for my Arsenal one at the very beginning. You get to become a player in all my career mode saves. You get to choose a club you want to go to, or if you want to stay as a free agent. And then I will obviously have your career tracked, including your transfers and from your player growth from season to season. Now, the only problem with this that could be a problem, at least in FIFA 23, there was a period of time where if you chose actual club, you stayed at that club your entirety of your career mode season, of the whole career mode save. You never really left the club. So I'm hoping that's not a thing there. I will experiment with it within the Arsenal career mode just to kind of keep it off. But yeah. Also, we have a second tier here, which is called Prime Time, which is only for $3 a month. You get to become a 25 to 29-year-old player, where you're pretty much in the prime of your life. Technically, you obviously again get to be in all my career mode saves as long as you are paying for it month by month, and as long as you are still paying for it by the time I start the new career mode saves. Obviously, you get to become a player all throughout your career, all throughout this entire career mode cycle for this whole next year. You get to choose a club you want to be at, have your career tracked, including transfers and obviously player growth as well. And then the next one is Exciting Prospect, which is $5 a month. You get to become a 16 to 18-year-old player in all my career mode saves, and you'll probably end up staying there for the majority and for the long term. Actually, probably for the whole entire career mode save. You probably won't retire as quickly as a 30-plus-year-old. In fact, you won't retire as quickly as a 30-plus-year-old. And again, have your career tracked, including transfers and player growth. Now, I do also have a bonus tier that is $10 a month. That is going to offer exclusive live streams for once a month if you were to want to do that. And then you actually get to choose your player age anywhere from 16 all the way up to 32 for any career mode saves. And you get to have an early vote for teams for my next career mode season. So after the Arsenal one, I would put a poll on here somehow. I'm not sure how I'd do it, but I'd put a poll on here allowing y'all to vote on it if you were to choose this. Allowing y'all to obviously vote on it, and then I will publicly about a day or two later and let the rest of the people vote as well, and that will choose the next career mode save. This is not mandatory. You do not have to do this if you, and please don't do this if you can't even afford it. But if you do want to help support me even further than just watching the videos, go ahead and click the link in the description and go ahead and make yourself a Patreon. Now back to career mode and back to the rebuild here at Roma. This is the starting 11. They have their default thing was like a 3 something. It was like a 3-2-5-1, some weird ass formation. We are not going to go ahead and I'm going with my trusty 4-2-3-1. We have Lukaku at striker, Pellegrini who's playing left cam, Dybala who's playing central cam, Zalewski who's playing right mid at the moment, Cristante, Paredes as our midfielders, with Spinazzola, Mancini, Smalling, and Christensen as our backline, and then Roy Patricio as our goalkeeper. Now, obviously, they have made some moves in this transfer window that are now on the team. We have Abraham, who's still on the bench, and he and Lukaku will fight. Alwar, he joins from Lyon. Sanchez is on loan from PSG, as well as Paredes is on loan from PSG as well. And Dika joins on a free transfer. Asmoon joins on a free transfer. I believe he was a free transfer. And then, obviously, I feel like there's somebody else besides Lukaku, who's on loan from Chelsea. Christensen joins from Leeds United as well. Now, he did join from Leeds United. However, he, in my opinion, is personally not good enough. He might be good enough for at least his first season, but I want to replace him. I want to possibly build a stronger defense because Smalling is getting old. He's up to 32. Mancini is 26, so he still has some room. Spinazzola is getting old. He's up to 29. He'll be 30 by the time this year ends. I have a feeling Renato Sanchez will probably go back to PSG in January. Cristante is honestly not that good either. 54 pace, he just wouldn't be good enough. Lukaku is not a long-term problem. He's obviously here for one season and one season only. Tammy Abraham could take his spot, and he probably will take his spot. Pellegrini, he is good enough for right now, but he might be one that we can just cash grab on him. Dybala is getting old up in there as well, so we might have to look to try and find a youngster to maybe replace him in a couple of seasons. And I definitely want to find a new right mid / right cam to go ahead and replace him instantly. Now, we have 111 million, if I'm not mistaken, 111 million to spend to improve the team. I'm only going to probably bring in 1 to 2 transfers in, and let's go ahead and bring them in. And we go ahead and make our first signing of the summer. We bring in Konrad Laimer from RB Leipzig. He will go ahead and go alongside Paredes in that midfield duo. 25 years old, 83 overall, and we only have to spend 29.5 million on him as his contract was expiring at the end of this first season. In this save, he'll join the squad and he'll be an instant impact to this team here at Roma. And we make our second signing of the summer. Roy Patricio is old. He's going to start deteriorating rapidly. His value is only 3 million. That just says how much he's going to start deteriorating. We go ahead and bring in Casteels from Wolfsburg. We go back to Germany to shop for another player. We bring in Casteels. He is 30, however, he's 84, so he'll give us a little bit more time before he starts disintegrating, and then we have to go look at for another goalkeeper. But for him, for 32 million, I believe it is, that's now 50 million spent to bring in just only 2 players, and one's a midfielder, one's a goalkeeper. I still want to right mid, possibly improve our bench situation as well. And we go ahead and spend the big bucks to bring in this German back to Germany. It seems like we are going to spend our money. Leroy Sané is joining Jose Mourinho here at Roma. Now, obviously, not Jose Mourinho because Roma's not in this game because they are 2E football, whatever it is. But Leroy Sané will go ahead and join Dybala and Lukaku. We spent 30 million plus Giallorossi, so Giallorossi is actually now gone out of the club, and we are officially out of money for this first transfer window for this first season here. So now it's up to this team to see what they can do in the league and hopefully get back into a Champions League spot and hopefully improve on what their situation is obviously currently in real life. But Leroy Sané joining from Bayern Munich for 32 million plus Giallorossi, so around 45 million value market. And here is your starting 11 for this season. Casteels in net, Christensen at right back, Smalling and Mancini still as our center backs. Our back four actually didn't get touched at all. However, Laimer as now instead of Cristante with Paredes in the midfield as well. Pellegrini, Dybala, and Leroy Sané leads our midfield attack, and then Lukaku leads our striking force. Let's see what this team can do by the time we get to January, and hopefully we're at least in a Champions League spot. Halfway through the season, and Roma are currently sitting 6th in the league with 8 wins, 7 draws, and 3 losses. We are 12 points behind Lazio, who are currently top of the league. We are only 2 points of overtaking that top 4 spot. We do have a game here instantly against AC Milan. We could chop down that 4-point gap to 2 if we were to win that game. And as expected, both Paredes and Mr. Renato Sanchez has been sent back to PSG, respectively, to both clubs. Also, Tammy Abraham. Oh no, Lukaku got sent back as well. Lukaku got sent back. That's not good. Why is Lukaku getting sent back? He's 84 overall. We will bring Lukaku back in for sure on loan. For sure. I'm just going to make sure that happens. We're up to 27 million now. I'm not quite sure how we have so much money. I'm not sure who has been sold but somebody has. But as you can see here, Sanchez recalled, Paredes recalled, Lukaku recalled. I'm about to sneeze, but we go ahead and bring in Fabiano Parisi on loan at left back to challenge Spinazzola, and hopefully he is my long-term replacement as well. I want to buy him next season, so I'm giving him a little trial here for the next 6 months, and hopefully he can perform better than Spinazzola, and we can just go ahead and instantly replace this guy. And at the end of the season, we missed out on Champions League just barely. Literally the same exact record as Inter Milan, 19 wins, 12 draws, 7 losses. Same goal difference as well. However, they have scored more goals. They have also conceded more as well. 69 points for the both of us, and I'm not quite sure what the tiebreaker is there. I'm not quite sure if it's goals scored or head-to-head. I have a feeling it's probably head-to-head in that instance, and which why they get top 4. And we are out of Champions League for a second season in a row now. Lazio go ahead and win the league pretty comfortably with a 4-point cushion at the end of the season against Juventus. AC Milan are down with us as well, but they are in the Conference League, sitting in 6th. Going down to the second Serie division is Hellas Verona, Cremonese, and then Empoli as well. The Coppa Italia, we go ahead and win that. Napoli wins that, and in fact, I think we got knocked out in the quarterfinals. We did to Napoli. Now, we were in the Europa League this season as well. We began the group stages finishing in 2nd, which means we had a preliminary round in which we took care of Zagreb 4-0. We then went ahead and take care of Man United 5-4 in aggregate. In the quarterfinals, we take over Union Berlin 5-3. We get to the semifinals against Juventus, and we get knocked out 3-2. So just barely not making the Europa League final, in which they made it this year in real life, obviously losing to Sevilla. Our top goal scorers, and looking like that, Lukaku hasn't played again. I don't know why Lukaku's not playing when he's the highest overall player. I guess Abraham now is the highest overall. But 30 goals for Abraham, 19 goals for Dybala, 14 goals and 10 assists for Pellegrini, who I was tempted to sell this season. Leroy Sané not having the best of seasons for him. Cristante, 3 goals, 2 assists. Lukaku, did you even play at all? You only played 1 game on your 6 months loan back. Paredes played 45 games, so that's honestly great to see. I am going to try and bring him into the squad. In fact, how much money do I have, and what's his value? 22 million. But we are going to go ahead and offer them Spinazzola for 19 million. His market value is only 32, so we might actually be able to get this done relatively cheaply. 14 million there. They want 19. They want Hassam Aouar as well. And honestly, I'm not mad at possibly selling Hassam Aouar, but how much was Hassam Aouar? Hassim Aouar. How much was he? Oh, I can't put him back in. Oh, I flipped up. Oh, I flipped up. Do I glitch the system again? Cars drop. Can I offer cars drop a 19 mil? Will they accept that? No, they just want straight 13 million now, or 31 million, however much it was. 39 million. They want 40 million for him. I'm trying to see anybody else that could possibly do that. Chris Smalling probably wouldn't be able to. Abraham probably wouldn't be able to. Dybala definitely not. Oh, Dybala was probably playing striker, thinking about it in the first half of the season. I didn't think about that. Bellotti maybe plus 19 mil. Whatever that is, 19.85. We'll take some time to think about this. Okay, so they're gonna come back and say no. And if they do, I will see y'all at the beginning of next season. They go ahead and accept that 19.8885 plus. I forgot who I put in there already, but they accept it. So we actually might be able to bring in Pedassi. He will be our new starting left back, and I'm spending this season's budget, which is honestly brilliant as well. That will save me some money next season, allowing me to make even more changes to the squad. And 40K a week, he comes into the squad, and we have our new left back to begin next season. Bellotti plus 19.885715. Yep, okay, cool, brilliant. In the second season, we have 108 million to spend for this team. Let's go ahead and advance a couple days, get rid of these players that are on loan. And I'm not quite sure if I want to replace Dembele and keep him there, or have Dembele still play a cam, Tammy Abraham here as well. I might have to change him to a cam to make sure he actually plays cam. Other than that, we need possibly another backup striker, because the other guy, obviously Balotelli got sold, and then the other guy is on loan again for 2 seasons. But Parasi is there, and Smalling is going to go ahead and get dropped by Ndika. I want a new right back for sure this season. I'm done with him. Other than that, the team, honestly, maybe Cristante replacing him again. But other than that, it's mainly bench, in all honesty. Right back, possibly Cristante replacement, bench. Now, we bring in our first signing. It's a free one. Stefan Jelovic will come in, a Croatian midfielder, 17 years old, 76 overall. If I'm not mistaken, this should be Modric's regen. But honestly, Modric never really retires after the first season. So I'm actually not even quite sure if it is his regen. I will go ahead and check right now. It is his regen. So Modric's regen joins the squad. He will not be our starting center mid, at least for this season, but he will go ahead and continue to grow. And there's a chance I possibly loan him out as well. And we go ahead and bring in a right back. I honestly just forgot his name. However, he is coming in from Chelsea. Is it Di Lorenzo? It might be Di Lorenzo. He's coming in from Chelsea. They obviously bought him in the game on here. They haven't bought him in real life. He will join for 16.1 million plus Aouar. So Aouar is now Premier League bound. And this guy will go ahead and bring our new right back. Is it Di Lorenzo? It is Di Lorenzo. Prematurely. Is he not a Roma player? I know he's an Italian player, but I gotta see, where does he play at in real life, because I feel like he has played for Roma. No, he's played for Napoli. Okay, so he was at Napoli, went to Chelsea, now back in Italy here at this club, and he will be our new right back to go ahead and replace Christensen at that right back spot. Like I said, Dybala cam, that's a goal. Abraham striker, that's the goal. I mean, he already is a striker. This right here, front three, is perfectly fine. Cristante is fine enough, but I'm going to go ahead and replace him. And then other than that, it's fully on to the bench and improving the bench, because it's looking quite awful. Now, I'm not quite sure if I was muted, so if I was, here we bring in Di Lorenzo from Chelsea. He was originally at Napoli, went to Chelsea in the first season, now back here, and we actually swapped him with Aouar plus 16 million, so he will join the squad. 29 years old, but 83 overall. He'll be perfectly fine. Our back four is now completely fine, at least for this season. I'm going to make sure Parasi plays over Spinazzola. I might even release Spinazzola or sell Spinazzola. Cristante, I still want to play as Dybala cam, and if I wasn't muted, then you probably didn't hear any of this. And we go ahead and spend nearly 30 million to bring in a youngster midfielder. Nico Ravella will join from Juventus for 29.1 million. And by the time at the end of this season, or even now, or even at the end of this season, some point, he will replace Cristante in that starting 11 role. But for now, he might be sitting on the bench just to develop it a little bit more. But Nico Ravella joins the squad here for 29.1 mil. And we go ahead and bring in a backup striker from Manchester United. Anthony Martial will join over the Italian seas for him to be a backup striker to Tammy Abraham. The English and Frenchman are linking back up with each other. I mean, I don't know if they ever linked up with each other in the first place, but they're together now, and Martial is going to try and push Abraham to be the better player. Chris Smalling has been sold for 14 million. He's on his way to Atletico Madrid to retire there. He did a shift for us this last season, but his time now is over. Spinazzola has been sold as well. He's still staying in Italy, though, this time now over at Inter Milan for 19 million. Parasi has a clear pathway to remain our starting left back now. and nobody should be getting in his way. That is now 31 million, something like that. 35 mil back in the bank. And we go ahead back to Germany from Mickey van de Ven. Now joining here, he'll be our backup center back, obviously replacing Smalling in that backup center back spot now, and he will be good off of the bench, and he can even challenge Indika instantly off of the bench as well. This team is shaping up a little bit here now, finally. Honestly, this team is pretty much good, besides maybe our winger replacements in Karsdorp and El Shaarawy. But other than that, Martial, good signing. Yelovich, good signing. Christensen, good backup right back. Van de Ven, good backup center back / even left back even as well. Cristante, and then obviously probably Rovella. Actually, Rovella is starting 11. Dybala is now a cam as well, and he actually went up one rating, so 88 overall for him. Abraham as our starting striker, and our reserve is looking kind of pathetic. But that's it for this first transfer window. Let's go ahead and get to January and see what this team can do. Halfway through the season and we are struggling. Roma FC sitting 7th, 30 points, 8 wins. We are 3 points off of 6th, 8 points off of 5th, 10 points off of top 4. It's not looking good. And in fact, actually could go up to 11 points off the top 4 if Udinese wins their game in hand, because they could go up to 41, and that will be 11 points off the top 4. Inter Milan are currently winning the league only by 2 points. However, they are doing the invincible runs at the moment. Currently halfway through the season, they are halfway there. Other than that, our team, they're playing well. I mean, our players on the starting 11 are playing as they should be. Dybala is even up to 90 overall. So I'm not quite sure what's going wrong. But let's get to the end of the season and hopefully win something. We turned the season around. Did we have 6 losses at the beginning of January? I think we did. No, we didn't, because we lost to Inter Milan in the last game of the season, so that's not impossible. We go ahead and not win anything. We don't win no league. We win Champions League, so we're into the top 4 now. Same exact record as Lazio this season around. Literally same exact record, same goal difference. Not same goals for. They actually have 10 more goals scored than us. They have obviously conceded 10 more goals than us as well. So I am assuming it is head-to-head, in which we, I guess, win that head-to-head battle. It's the reverse of what happened to us last season. We're top 4 alongside Juventus. Inter Milan butcher the title. AC Milan go ahead and win Serie A. Coppa Italia, the final, go ahead and went to Juventus. I think they lost in the final last season, so they get their revenge in there. The not Champions League, the Europa League, in which we were in for a 2nd season running, we cruised past the group stage, winning 6 for 6. We skipped this preliminary round. Round of 16, we went to take on Lyon, in which we won 6-1 on aggregate. Roma, we went to take on SC Braga. We win 3-0. And then the semifinals, we lose to Villarreal. So back-to-back semifinal losses in the Europa League. Dybala, 90 overall. Lamer, 84 overall. However, he didn't play that last game of the season, so he might have been injured or possibly just hurt or some suspended. Dybala, 33 goals, 11 assists. Abraham, 25 goals, 2 assists. Pellegrini, 16 and 10. Sane, 7 and 9. I think that might be our weak spot there in the attacking force. Maybe somebody will replace next season. Maybe a cash grab for next season as well. Other than that, I mean, Parasi's up to 82 overall. That's beautiful to see. Castillo's still 85 overall, 31 years old, so he'll still have us a season. Let's get to Champions League football. 161 million to spend in our first season back into Champions League football. And we are going to go ahead and possibly replace Ndika in that starting 11. He's only 81 overall, so I'm not quite sure why he isn't growing. So it might have to be time to replace him. Other than that, Rovella, Limer, brilliant in the midfield. That's brilliant options there. Dybala 90 overall. He's still good there. Pellegrini is still good here. Sane, it might be time for him to be sent to the shops. Abraham is good there. These two have to be replaced as well. I need better replacement wingers. And in fact, Sane could actually stay as a backup midfielder. Other than that, I think pretty much other than that, our team is decent enough to get the job done. 161 million to spend, and we need to spend it wisely. And we go ahead and bring in Alex Bronco, 19 years old, 81 overall. He will replace Indica in that starting 11 spot. And if not, he'll be a great backup option anyway. And for free, that is perfectly, and that's exactly what we need as well. We go ahead. We go ahead and sell Rick Karsdorp to Real Madrid for 18 million. And with a release clause of 58.5 million and a value of over 100 million, Jamal Musiala will go ahead and join Roma here. He will replace Sane on that right hand side. He will be playing as a cam / right winger, but he will join for 50.5, some ridiculous release clause. He's into the team now, and he is our newest addition and our newest star player. And one last signing just for our backup bench. Luca Romero will join from Watford. Obviously originally at Lazio, if I'm not mistaken, but will join from Watford for 17.3 million. He will be a backup to either Pellegrini, Musiala, or even Dybala at this point. But obviously joining the squad now, that is something good to see. Our squad is pretty much set now here. Obviously Indica. Who do I drop? That's the thing. Who do I drop? I really wish on EFC 24 we get 9 subs instead of the 7 that we get now, because obviously 5 subs, you need more players on the bench. Here is our team here for this season in the Champions League. Abraham, Pellegrini, Dybala, Musiala, Lamer, Rovella, Parassi, Mancini, Bronco, Di Lorenzo, and Casteels. Let's go and get to January, where hopefully we're top of the Champions League group and top of the Serie A. And halfway through the season, we're better off than the first 2 seasons, currently sitting in 3rd. We are 6 points off top Juventus. We are 9 points safe off of Napoli, who currently sit in 5th. Coppa Italia begins, and then the Champions League group stages. We had Liverpool, Celtic, and Athens, in which we go ahead and finish 2nd in our group based off of head-to-head, I'm assuming. I'm not assuming. I know it's based off the head-to-head. I keep getting these same records. We now have Chelsea in the round of 16. Who did Liverpool get? Liverpool got Real Betis, so they got the better option there. So Chelsea is there. Atletico Madrid versus Man United. Us versus Chelsea. City versus Frankfurt. Villarreal versus AC Milan. Barcelona, Juventus. Real Madrid, PSG. Galatasaray versus Bayern Munich. And then Real Betis, Liverpool as well. Dortmund got knocked out to the Europa League. Marseille knocked out Salzburg, Inter Milan, Copenhagen, Celtic, Leipzig, and FC Porto all knocked down to the Europa League. Our top goal scorer is Jamal Musiala playing. He is playing. That's brilliant. But he only has 4 goals and 6 assists. Sane's also playing as well, but he has 5 goals, so he's better off the bench. Tammy Abraham, 14 goals. Dybala, 7 goals. Contract extensions, and then we'll go ahead and get to that Champions League round of 16. Round of 16 here up against Chelsea. Sterling, Openda, Havertz still at Chelsea. Awar, Eze, Fernandez, Chilwell, Skriniar, Kepa, and net. Koulibaly, Reece James. Can our team get the job done? Not really. It's a 1-1 draw. Havertz scoring the 88th minute to go ahead and equalize after we scored in the 3rd minute with Dybala. Second leg here away from home. It's a 2-1 win. Cristante and Pellegrini send us to the next round of the Champions League. Bayern Munich in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Jamal Musiala versus his former club. It's a 3-2 loss to Lit, scoring in the 83rd minute to give them that 1-goal advantage going into the second leg. Dybala and Abraham keeping us somewhat alive in this. We're down by 1 goal going away to Bayern Munich. Second leg here against Bayern Munich. We're down by 1, but it doesn't matter. Dybala comes in, 88th minute winner to send us to the semifinals of the Champions League. Abraham, who scored the first goal early into the second half, and we are into the semifinals of the Champions League, knocking off Germans. Bayern Munich also in the semifinals is going to go ahead and be Man United. The other, oh my God, this is a stacked Champions League. We are so out of place here. That should be an insane Champions League if Bayern Munich actually beat us. Because either Man City or Barcelona are going through, and then either Real Madrid or Liverpool are going through as well. Honestly, I don't know what team I'd want. I think Man United, in all honesty. And so we actually go ahead and get Manchester United in the semifinals. I'm not sure who's in the other semifinals. I didn't really check who finished the other two. But first leg, it's at Old Trafford. Can we at least hang on to something? Yes, we can. A 1-1 draw. Pretty even game. 50-50% possession. 4 shots for them. 3 shots for us. 3 chances and 4 chances. So all of our shots were all goal-scoring chances on both sides of the ball. Second leg here at home, 1-1 draw in the first leg, a 2-1 win in the second. Modric's regen goes ahead and scores a winner a minute after coming on the field. And we are through to the finals of the Champions League in our first season in the Champions League. Pellegrini scoring to open things up. Bruno Fernandes equalized 25 or 15 minutes later, and with only 2 shots, that is not good enough end product for them. And we will be facing off against Real Madrid? No, off against Manchester City. So we're going to have to go through both Manchester clubs to lift this Champions League trophy. And then we're going to have to take down Erling Haaland somehow, some way. As far as the league goes, we are safe for top 4. We are not winning the league, so let's just get straight to the Champions League final against Manchester City. I just noticed we lost Rovella. Or was it Novella? It was Rovella, right? I think he had a release clause of what, 72 million? I don't know when that got I had to get triggered in January. So we've been playing without Rovella for this second half of the season. So we are Rovella-less. That's actually kind of a problem I didn't think about. Our midfield is a little bit slow, and honestly, I'm kind of tempted to start Yelovich because he's 86 pace over Kristante's 82 or 56. It's a no-brainer for us. Let's go ahead and get in there. This is a team to take on Manchester City. I almost said Erling Foden. Phil Foden, Erling Haaland, Berardi, Rovella. There is Rovella. He's at Manchester City. So the trader, he goes over to Manchester City, facing off against Roma. I'm going to take him out. Guendouzi, Rodri, it's a very defensive-loaded midfielder there. Cancelo, Diaz, Akanji, Walker, and Ederson in net at the Olympus Stadion. Let's jump into it. Let's see if we can win the Champions League on the first time of asking. This might be Bayern Munich Stadium. Champions League final here against Manchester City. We're going to have to lock down Haaland somehow. But with Dybala, Dybala, Pellegrini, Musiala, this team is special. And it might be able to get the job done. And here is Dybala already shifting things out to Musiala. Now in for Pellegrini. Pellegrini's shot was blocked and out for a corner. Rodri taking up the field. He'll find Erling Haaland out wide to Berardi. Somebody who I was going to sign instead of Sane. Maybe should have. And Rovella will go ahead and score against his former club to take the lead from Man City. Nicola Rovella, the trader, gives Manchester City the lead. 1-0, 13 minutes into the game. Musiala now down the flank. Musiala gets past one. Can he get past Ruben Diaz? He's staying with them. It's going to be Musiala taking this by himself. Save straight at Ederson. Dybala lifting cross. Abraham on the header. Abraham levels it up. It's 1-1. Tammy Abraham levels it up here for Roma. off of a corner. Musiala tackled at the break. It's 1-1. Parisi out wide now. Pellegrini back for Dybala. First time cross in for Tammy Abraham. Manchester City behind AC Roma. In front, 2-1. Tammy Abraham with a brace. A beautiful, beautiful ball by Dybala to send it into the box. Abraham heads it to the bottom corner. And we are in front now with 40-ish minutes left to go. Look at this ball from Dybala. Sends it into the box. Abraham wide open. Beautiful header into the bottom corner. Gives us the lead. It's 2-1 for Roma. Nico Rovella, Guendouzi, Haaland was offside. Berardi, Erling Haaland, Bronco intercepted. We might have a chance to break here. Dybala on the ball. Dybala in and out for Tammy Abraham on a hat trick. Can he get the hat trick? Tammy Abraham gets his hat trick, and Roma lead 3-1 against Manchester City. Pellegrini will come off for Sane. Musiala on the left-hand side now, and then Leroy Sane on the right-hand side. Rovella in for Haaland. Haaland might have a chance here. Castell saved. It will fall out wide for Akanji. Into the box for Rovella. Guendouzi, Haaland saved again. Out for a corner. But none are in the back of the net. He might add a 6-1 there. There's Guendouzi. His shot's blocked. Still with Manchester City. Berardi, Phil Foden, Haaland. Haaland will get it back, and Haaland will finally score. It's 3-2, and with 20 minutes left to go, Manchester City are right back into it. Lamer, Musiala, Tammy Abraham over the top. Handball, we play on. He'll find Dybala. And Paulo Dybala will probably give us a win there. 4-2 now for Roma FC. Quickly canceling out that Haaland goal. And we are doubling our lead once again. With 10 minutes left to go, there's no way for Man City to get back into this game. And we are set to win the Champions League final. Haaland tackled, dealt with by Di Lorenzo, and that should be it. With 2 minutes of added time, Roma FC, AS Roma are your Champions League winners. Leroy Sané to add a little cherry on top, no. But Roma FC, as soon as he kicks the ball here, will lift that Champions League trophy. We get the job done in only one season in the Champions League. And Jose Mourinho, a.k.a. actually Juventus' manager now, because I think I chose Allegri as our manager for Roma. We are Champions League winners. Our Abraham hat-trick gets the job done. Dybala with the cherry on top in the 80th minute. And who's lifting the trophy? Is that Man City lifting the trophy? I think it is. And AS Roma, Roma FC are your Champions League winners in the first time of asking. If you did enjoy this, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. And join the Patreon down below. First link. But until then, I will see you all on the 22nd for EFC 24 release. Peace out.